So hi guys, my name is Rence and in this video we'll talk about Fibonacci sequence. So what is Fibonacci sequence, you might ask? It is one of the few famous formulas in mathematics and it is composed of numbers. And these numbers are called Fibonacci numbers. What are these numbers? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and so on. You get these numbers by adding two succeeding numbers like 0 plus 1 equals 1, or 1 plus 1 equals 2, and so on and so forth. An Italian man named Leonardo Pisano Bigolo, also known as Leonardo of Pisa, is the man who invented this formula, also known as the Fibonacci sequence, and he was born in AD 1170 in Pisa, Italy. Examples of Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. My first example is our fingers. Each section of the index fingers from the tip to the bottom of the wrist is larger than the preceding one by roughly 1 by the ratio of pi. My second example is our face. Our mouth and nose are positioned at the golden section of the distance of the eye to the bottom of the chin. Similar proportion can be seen from the side and even the eye and ear itself, so it follows a spiral pattern. Fibonacci sequence in nature. My example is the aloe follicula. We do not have this kind of plant at home as it is difficult to grow, so I'll show you a picture instead. This plant is called aloe follicula for its distinct appearance. If you look at the plant from the above, you will notice the arrangement of its leaves. As shown, it follows a spiral effect and it is considered to be a Fibonacci sequence.
What is up, you guys? So for today's vlog, I will be covering an explanation about the Fibonacci sequence, and I will also show to you some real life applications and examples. But before that, let me just first give you a brief explanation of what Fibonacci sequence really is. So let's start. So guys, as you can see here, I have a paper, and these numbers are all Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers are solved by adding the two previous numbers to determine the next number. So the sum of the two numbers will be the next number. Example, if you add 2 to 3, you will get 5. And when you get 5, you will add it to 3. You will get 8. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 plus 8, 21. 21 plus 13 is 34. And that's pretty much an easy concept to understand. I'm pretty sure you get the point. Now, it's amazing how these numbers are really connected to each other. So for instance, this. Guys, look. Here is some division. If you divide 1 to 1, you will get 1. And if you divide 3 to 2, you will get 1.5. So when you divide the two numbers, the previous two numbers, you will be closer and closer to the ratio, which is 1.618. Now, this ratio, this value is also called the golden ratio. Why? Because if you add all the Fibonacci numbers, your answer will always be closer to the value 1.618. Just so amazing, and it's mesmerizing how beautiful these numbers are connected to each other. And for the next part, I will be showing to you some real life applications and examples, so stay tuned. Guys, so for the next part of our video, for our vlog, I will be explaining to you some real life applications of the Fibonacci sequence. So we have here a what do you call this? A drawing of a rectangle, perhaps. This one big rectangle, the insides of it are all made out of Fibonacci numbers. I mean the measurements, the area of each rectangle, each box, each square inside this one big rectangle is made out of the Fibonacci numbers. And what does this tell us? It tells us that this one big rectangle forms a spiral, which then we can see in a real life happening. For example, the shape of a typhoon. What is the shape of a typhoon? It looks like spiral, right? Oh, it does not look like it really is spiral. And one more example is a shell in the seashore or whatever. The shell's shape is like a spiral, and this spiral looks just like the Fibonacci sequence.
Hi guys, so after knowing what Fibonacci sequence is, let us talk about what is the golden ratio.
In additional information about golden ratio, it is an irrational number slightly bigger than 1.6, and it has somewhat surprisingly had huge significance in the world of science, art, and music. It was also discovered that this number has an amazing connection with what is called the Fibonacci sequence, originally studied in the context of biology centuries ago. This unexpected link among algebra, biology, and the arts suggests that mathematical unity of the world and is sometimes discussed in philosophy as well. This sequence is not all that important, rather, the essential part is the quotient of an adjacent number that possesses an amazing proportion, roughly 1.618, or its inverse 0.618. This proportion is known by many names such as the golden ratio, the golden mean, pi, and the divine proportion. So why is this number so important? Well, almost everything has dimensional properties that adhere to the ratio of 1.618, so it seems to have a fundamental function or the building blocks of nature.
So after knowing what golden ratio is, let us talk about where it is used for. Many architectural wonders in the world have been built to reflect the golden ratio. Architects often use it to design buildings and other massive structures. So some examples of the buildings or wonders in the world that use the golden ratio are Taj Mahal, Notre Dame, and the Pyramid of Giza, which are all popular until now. In geometry, when golden ratio is applied as a growth factor, you get a special logarithmic spiral called the golden spiral. So this golden spiral can be seen in seashells, Ferris wheels, the outer space view in a hurricane or typhoon, or even in flower buds. Also, animals exhibit similar tendencies of the golden ratio. Example is in dolphins, its eyes and tail all fall in a golden section. Animals like starfish, ants, sand dollars, and even honeybees also exhibits golden ratio. Also in painting, artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Georges Seurat, and many other more use golden ratio as an attribute of their work, because they believe that when golden ratio is specifically applied to design, it creates an organic, balance, and aesthetically composition and design.
That's just about it for the vlog, and I hope you learned something new today about math. I hope you get to enjoy math like you never did before, because when you hear the word math, you think about it's hard or it's difficult. I can't. But if we look at math, the way the Fibonacci system or Fibonacci sequence works, then I am pretty sure that you will love math. So that's it for this video, and thanks for watching. Subscribe.